Hello, everyone. Welcome and good evening, and welcome to the marketplace with Uche Onuche this evening. I welcome you all. I hope it's been a great day so far for you guys. I hope it's been productive. Yeah, I hope at least you've been able to achieve one or two things coming out from the weekend. Yeah, welcome to those of you on Instagram and Facebook, Zoom and YouTube. I just want to welcome you all and just thank you for always showing, always coming out to join me in this presentation. It makes it worthwhile to have you all the time. Okay, so today I will just go ahead and just and begin to talk about the thing that the topic for today, and which is things I wish I knew before I became a leader. Things I wish I knew before I became a leader. You know that sometimes from experience, I've come to realize that leadership is just thrust upon us. Leadership is just something we just, most of the time, we are not prepared for it. Even if we want it, but yet we're not prepared for it. So it's something that is thrown at us, is opportunity that just comes to us, and sometimes we're not prepared for it. But anybody that this presentation goes out to, anybody that feels that I think there's something about me. Anybody that feels that, look, I'm a leader. Anybody that feels that I'm a leader. Anybody that wants to grow and climb the ladder in their career, in their industry, in whatever you are. Even as a student, they have student leaders and all, they have prefects and all that. So some people recognize that this leadership quality is in them. Some people try to see how they can build themselves as leaders. But the thing is, by the time they are now become leaders, usually they have no idea. You want it, but it just, the time it comes, you are never prepared for it. You can never really be fully prepared for something until that thing is drops at your lap, whether you're ready for it. So this is just to get you ready. For someone that is listening to this, I think that maybe a promotion is in the offing. There's some form of promotion in the offing for you. So I feel that you should take this seriously and see how you can prepare yourself for it. So let's just go right into this presentation for the day. Okay. Being given a chance to take a leadership role is an important task. Being given a chance to take a leadership role is an important step in everybody's career. So it means that there's something that the senior management has seen concerning you. There's something the senior management has seen concerning you that they think separates you from the rest, and that you have the potential to rise to the top. That is usually the case. That is usually the case. For you to be leadership to be given to you, or for you to rise up to a leadership position, it means that there's something that separates you from the others. That sometimes we have this desire to be in leadership. Sometimes it's just something that just happens along the way. But either one of them, I will tell you, is orchestrated by God. You ask me, and I think that the Bible says that He's one that maketh us both to will and to do His good pleasures. So even though you think you will by yourself, no, it is more than that. It is more than that. That desire and that knowledge has been put there for you. And if now you just suddenly find yourself in leadership, then it also means that He has orchestrated that in your life and in your career. Okay. I think Chooks Chidoro. Okay. Good evening also to you. Welcome to the marketplace with Uchonache. Welcome. I greet you. So I was trying to say that, yeah, there's something that separates you. You are just not a leader, like that. There's something that management see or people in authority will see concerning you. There's something they see concerning you, and that is that same reason why they separate you from the rest. And it means that if you are being singled out to do a particular assignment, it means that there is potential for you to rise into the top in that organization or wherever you belong. But now, one of the challenges is that at this point of elevation, many begin to falter, many begin to fall by the wayside. They begin to falter, they begin to fall by the wayside because they're not prepared. Like I said, you are never, most people, you don't wait till as in you don't get up in the morning and say, today I'm going to become a leader. So it just happens. Like I said, it just happens to us. So what do you do when it just things like that happen to you? What do you do when it happens to you? So people begin to make mistakes at this point in time, and that those mistakes can cause them not to further climb the leadership ladder in whichever organization they find themselves. So today I want to give you 7 steps. I know 7 steps or 7 things I wish I knew, and 7 things that I wish that can prepare you. 7 things I wish I knew before I got into leadership. That's one, and also 7 things that can prepare you for that leadership position that is coming. I sense that in my spirit that there's someone that is going to come into this place, and really it's about you. God is preparing something for you. So after this presentation, just within the next 1 week, I'm sure something is going to come to you. And when it comes, remember this presentation and use this presentation to be able to prepare yourself for that position. Somebody really is somebody is getting into that flow right now. Okay. I feel it strongly, and so if you are the person, I think you just receive it. So now, one of the things I wish I knew was, I had an idea, but I wish I knew it more, that leadership is all about the people. The biggest challenge is that most people get promoted into their first leadership role because of their technical skills, which is good. Technical skills, intelligence, and all that is the first thing. Like I was discussing with a school principal at one time, and I said to him, why is it that when you want to pick head boy, you just go to the most brilliant boy in school and the most brilliant girl in school and make them head boy and head girl? But it usually doesn't work like that. It's not about the person that is most brilliant Well, I believe that they have their, I want to believe that they have, it's something I see in most schools. And I've asked one or two principals, and I didn't really get, they say best behaved is this, that, but is, yes, for somebody to be head boy, it must be it must be above average, that is for sure. But does that mean that he's able to lead well, to be that gap between the students and the teachers? Might not be. And in most cases, you see that they are not able to gather the students. Students don't like the head boy, and the teachers, they like the head boy. Sometimes in schools like that, it can be an issue. And the same thing happens. This same thing happens in the corporate world. They just pick you as a leader based on technical skills alone. But it's how you lead and interact with people that will determine whether you're successful or not. So if you're a head boy or senior prefect in a school, if you're a head boy or head girl or senior prefect in a school, what it means is that it takes more than being brilliant academically than to be able to lead and interact with people. The same thing happens in the corporate world. And I say, look, sometimes the prefect, the social prefect, should be actually the head boy. Because for me, is somebody that connects with people, understands what people want. Though when they want to pick social prefect, they get it right. But when they want to pick head boy, they don't get it right. So they will get somebody that is somebody that is jovial, has people skills, that can rally around and do events and all that. I think is one of the roles of a head boy, to also be in that position. The same applies to a leadership role, to a manager role, general manager role. It's not about the technical ability, but it's also about the ability to lead and interact with people that will determine whether you are successful or not. I'm not saying technical skill is not good. Technical skill is great, but it's people skill that gives you the ability to inspire and to motivate. You need to be able to inspire and motivate. People skill is what will help you most. It will help you to inspire and motivate people. And the higher you go, the more critical these people will become. So the more you need this people skill for you to be able to be successful. I want to be brilliant. It's good to be brilliant. It's good to be technical, but it is also good that you are a people person. Let me give you an example. A guy that started work as a GM in an organization. Then his first day, his first hour, I just wrote some of the things that he said. I just wrote down some of the things. Wari said he was the senior prefect in the secondary. He was the social prefect in secondary school. Yeah, so that means it shows that you have a people skill, a people person. So maybe this presentation is for you, Wari. So I think you should get ready. Maybe I think there's a promotion, elevation, or something coming for you, because I felt it very strongly when I was preparing this message or this presentation. Okay, so the example I'm giving here is that this guy was making GM of an organization, and it says within the first hour of his leadership role, his test manager, who was a lady, came and said there's a problem. The first hour, he has not settled down. The first hour, he was excited as he knew almost everything about testing, and this would be an opportunity for him to get off on a good note. Rather, she came into his office, sat down, and said to him, I have a lump in my breast. I'm afraid it's cancer. What should I do? And then she burst into tears. This is his first job and his first assignment. So he says only 10% of his time in that first role was spent doing the technical issues. The remaining 90% was all about the people. So when you push people aside and say, no, 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 that's not what I'm here for. Go to the hospital, go and talk to your doctor, or go and do this, go and do that. You will not succeed as somebody that, for you to be a leader, people look at you. Once you are a leader, people look at you as a father figure. Even if they are 20 years older than you. I see it in the course of the work that I do. I see 60-year-old men tell me I'm their father. I see 65. I've seen 70-year-old man tell me, you know that you are a father in this place. So it's not about the age. It's about the seats. It's about the position that you hold. And I have this experience. I wish I understood to an extent. You know, my own case wasn't as bad as this person. It wasn't as bad because I'm a people person. Not will I say I'm a people person to an extent, not a large extent, but one thing I knew the first leadership role I entered was that I got was I realized before it came to me that people do the work. The work does not do itself. I don't come in the morning and I don't come in the morning and I see angels come and do the work. People just come to supervise what they have done. And that helped me a great deal for me because somewhere along the line I stumbled into that thought that it's about the people. It's not about the company or the logo or whatever it is. It's about the people. The people do the work. And if you are for the people, and the people, if you are for the people and the people are for you, then the people will do the work for you. So it was kind of similar to this. So when you're getting into a leadership position, realize that it's about the people. And most of the time, the things that you're handling are things that relate to their personal life. There was an organization I belonged to. I used to ask, one of the things that made me successful then was the people who come, I'm not being paid. I will give people transport money. There was a lady I was helping they didn't pay her for a long time. And from time to time, I paid her salary for a while. Why? Because so that people can get by. So that people will get by. You have to go beyond the work. We all understand the work, and the people understand the work. The people understand the work. So it's not that they don't understand the work, but you need to prepare, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared because it's more than just you as a person, it's about them. The second thing I would have loved to know more is that you don't need to know everything as a leader. Your job as a leader is to help your team come up with the best answers. It's not your job to know everything. That's why if you are the leader, you moderate a meeting. And as you're moderating the meeting, you are allowing them talk. And as you are allowing them talk, you are learning. Let the professional, you don't have to provide all the solutions or need to know everything. Give people opportunity for them to talk. And if their thoughts and their suggestions are the best thing for the organization, take it. You learn by listening. So in the meeting, if you give somebody the opportunity, they will be able to tell you and tell you more. One of the worst bosses I've ever worked with fell into this trap so much that he rarely asks his team for his input. He felt that he has to know everything. that is what is supposed to make people to fear him and to respect him. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. People were demotivated because you will come, it doesn't allow anybody to talk. So when you come, it's just everybody will just listen. And when they listen, they say, what are we going for meeting for? Everybody should keep quiet so that the meeting will be short, so that he will say what he wants to do and do it, and it goes. After all, if we fail, it's not me, it doesn't stop my paycheck, it is him, that will go. So at the end of the day, what this does is that when you portray that front that you know everything, it leads your people to feel that they work for you and not for him. They work for him, sorry. They just led us to feel that we work for him and not with him. So we are not colleagues. He's not the MD of the company. So it's like we are not colleagues. We are not colleagues at all. It's like we're not colleagues here. We are working for him. The team felt so disrespected, especially as in many areas they were the technical expert and not him. So you can imagine you're working in an organization, you are not an engineer, you're a project manager, but you don't want the engineers to talk when they are talking about when they are talking about the work. Yes, a project manager might run a project that have an engineering project, but it doesn't mean that you know everything, even though you've been in that industry for ages. See, being comfortable with not knowing and being willing to tell your team what you don't know is a great way of building a connection and making them feel valued. Organization, people that feel valued are people that do more for the organization. When you allow people, let people, sometimes people don't want to be vulnerable. A leader that wants to look the part all the time will burn out. If you don't want your people to see any form of weakness in you, you will burn out. Nobody is that. I learned from digital marketing, social media from my people because I know that I didn't know anything about it. All I knew is just check Facebook, check Instagram, but they had to teach me some things so that I'm able to do some things on my own. And every time I'm learning, and I'm not afraid to let them know that they are better than me in this. It doesn't make me weak as a person, but it brings this form of connection, building a connection, making them feel valuable, that they are valued for what they bring. And it gives a total sense of connection. Everybody knows what they bring and everybody is putting in their best, because at that way, people are recognized for what they do and celebrated for what they do, rather than the leader wants to take credit for it. Some leaders want to take credit for it. Some leaders, I know someone that he cannot stand somebody else being praised. He can't stand anybody that is below him to be praised. He wants to be the only one that people are talking about him. He wants to be the only one that is shining, and he will keep talking down on the people that are under him so that everybody can look at him and say, oh yeah, this person is it. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay. The third thing that I wish I knew was knowing more that recognition is key. Of all the leadership and management tools, the number one for driving performance is recognition. People crave for recognition, so give it to them. It's one of the most basic needs. That feeling of self-esteem comes from recognition. That you have done a good job and that you have been appreciated is what drives people to exceed expectation. People will exceed expectation when they know that they will be recognized for what they do, because it's a self-esteem booster. Nobody wants to walk in the dark and not be known or recognized for what they do. Nobody wants to put in something and they're not told thank you. You know that thank you, that recognition during meetings, they clap for you. You have no idea how far it goes. You have no idea how far it goes. Or giving somebody some monetary reward and say, thank you for this. You have no idea how far it goes. Quite simply put, what gets recognized gets respected. If it's not recognized, people will not respect you. If you're not recognized, people will not know what you do. And so it's important. It's important that we recognize people. It is very, very important. Leaders that don't recognize won't do very well. Okay, the fourth point I want to bring is here is how to hold people accountable. One of the hardest things to do as a leader is to get people to accept accountability. And the first step in this journey is understanding that it is their choice. You can't make people accountable. It's their choice. So they need to realize that it is your choice to be accountable. Because you, as a leader, you can assign responsibility, but that is not the same. But that is not the same as them taking ownership of the outcome and being committed to success. Taking ownership is a different matter. They are not taking ownership. What we want people to do is to take ownership of the outcome and be committed to that success story. So, but this is how you need to do. There are 3 steps I want to give to you that can help you get people, to help you encourage people to be accountable. The easiest way to get people to be accountable, one, is to be accountable yourself. Role model the behavior you are looking for in your team. Because if you're doing it, if you want people to come early, then you have to come early as well. If you want people to come early, then people should be early as well. If you want people to be organized in a way, there was a way I went to, and I was called to head an organization for a short period of time. And so when I hate when people just write something for me on a piece of paper and bring something official. So, and I keep telling them, if you want me to look at that thing, then you have to type it. That's why we have laptop. You have a laptop. You have a printer. You type it. And if you want to make presentation, you put it in PowerPoint. And what helped me is that anytime I want to send out a memo, I type it and tell them to put it on the board. So when you bring that paper, I say, the one I sent to you, didn't you see that it was typed? They say, yes, it was typed. When I want to do presentation for them at the beginning of the week, this is what we need to do. I do it in PowerPoint. So when you want to do a presentation and you want to carry paper and begin to talk, you know that you have to come back and you have to come back and do that presentation, and you have to be queried for wasting our time. Be the model the behavior that you want in your organization. That's the first step to get people to be accountable, because you can say all that you want, and if you're not leading by example, that thing doesn't get done. The second way to get people to be accountable is to ensure that your team have everything they need to be successful, so that they don't have any excuse. I'm not saying give them the world, but give them those basic things that they need. If they need data for the week, you give them data. If they need whatever they need to go out, whatever company policy or the way you people handle what you do, give it to them. Because I see some bosses, they will just, after a while, they'll just behave as if they don't know that you need funds to do some certain things. Whatever they need to be effective, give it to them so there will be no excuse. If they have a vehicle as for their pool car, make it available so that somebody will not call you because there was no car, couldn't go out marketing. Whatever it is that is the company policy, that arrangement and agreement you gave with somebody, give him that thing. Give him that thing so that he has no excuse. The third one is to create an environment where they feel safe and they know. How do they feel safe in the workplace? They know that their mistakes will not be fatal to their career. It will not lead fatal to their career means that they could be sacked or they could be redundant or not placed on redundancy. No, they could be sacked or they could be, what is the word? They just put you in a place that you are not promoted. You're not seen as somebody that can move up to management level. You are just there doing your work, but you are not going anywhere except you leave that company and go and start somewhere else. So people need to know that even if they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, and they still have environments where people are corrected and taught what to do when they make a mistake. It's the environment that people thrive. It's now when you begin to make mistake on a fairly regular basis, that is where disciplinary action will be taken against you. That is when you'll be called to face that. Yes, you were pardoned the first time, the second time you were pardoned, but what is happening right now? What is happening right now that now we see in a situation where you are making mistakes fairly regularly? So at that point, disciplinary action will be taken against you. But try to create an environment where people can make mistakes and you don't have to chop off their heads. What it does is that it helps to create an environment for accountability. It will surely help. The fifth point I want to talk about here is employee engagement is your job as a leader. You see, most leaders feel that employee engagement is the responsibility of the employee. No, it's not the responsibility of the employee. Employee engagement is actually a measure of how well you are doing your job as the leader, not how well employees are doing theirs. Although it does have a big impact on their performance, it is your role and your responsibility. That's why it should be your number one priority, because team performance is your responsibility. The coach of a football team, it is your responsibility, even when the players don't play well. They don't sack players, they sack the coach. The same thing applies when people are not doing well, they will remove the MD and bring an MD that can carry people along. So it is your job to motivate people. Employee engagement is your number one responsibility. So let me give you some tips that can help you keep your people, employees engaged. One, be clear about the goal and objective. Everybody in the organization should be clear about the goals and the objectives. That is what you should talk about in the meeting. Before any other thing is said, the vision statement, the mission statement, the thing that we're about to do must be clear to everybody. The leader must break it down and put that vision or put that picture of what they want to achieve inside of them. It is your responsibility. A vision that is clear, a goal that is clear makes it easy, makes it easier for people to flow with. Write the vision, make it plain. those that read it will be able to run with it. Make it plain so that we understand. That is the first step. Then the second one is to let your team know why they are important and how they will benefit. This comes from recognition. You have to tell your employee how important they are to the project. Always let them know how important they are to the project and how they can benefit from the project. Because somebody can be attached to the vision and see a lovely vision, can be attached to it, but you also want to say, how can I be here and be able to also pay my bills? So bills should go with the importance of the person, what the person is bringing to the table. The first one is clarity on what to do, how important they are. They need to know how important they are, and also the benefits they will be deriving from doing that work. It helps employee engagement if they can see these things and see clearly and see themselves. The thing is for them to be able to see themselves in your vision. And once they see themselves in your vision and they know that their family is not going to starve, it becomes easier to be able to connect. The third one is to show them how they can be successful. Show them how they can be successful. This will help connect their aspiration to their goals. Help them with, this is where you build a career. You help them with a career, help them connect their aspiration to their goal, and help increase their confidence, which will help engage and inspire them. There has to be a connection. When these things are in place, you see that their aspiration, you are helping them connect their aspiration to the goal, to your goal as the leader. And once they can connect, it is easy for you now, for them to now be fully engaged, because they see themselves in the vision, in the goal, in the project. They're seeing themselves and they're seeing that they're not going to starve, and they are going to be recognized for what they do. They are important. Everybody will do well in a place that they are important. They feel important. They are in an environment that they feel important. They are proud to be in that environment. They are proud to be around the kind of staff, people they are around. It's something when you are in a group where top performers are in. You are proud to call yourself that I work in this organization. I belong to this affiliation. Things like that. They are boosters, and they can help the employee to fully engage, because now it helps his confidence, and he will help engage and inspire him to do more in the team. It's your responsibility to continually put this thing in their minds. And those that will latch onto it, catch up with it, are the people that will go. The people that cannot are the people that will be dropped. So you, the leader, you must keep putting the vision, keep telling them how important, and keep telling them their role in this place and their benefit in it. You have to keep putting it there until they can see it with their mind's eye, how important it is for them. And once you're able to do that, they will stay. They will stay. Okay, the sixth thing I need to talk about is everything you say and do is important. The leader defines the culture, and your team is watching everything you say or do. So leaders that are careless, leaders that say things carelessly, do things carelessly, they are watching your every move. The pastor of the church, they are watching their every move. The CEO of an organization, they are watching even your body language, they are watching. And they will go and say, this our guys, this is how he's not happy today. maybe they can begin to suggest the things that you even have no idea of. You are being watched. What you say will be interpreted, analyzed, critically analyzed by people. And most of the time, they will analyze it out of context. That is, so you need to realize that your words and your actions must align with the goals and objectives at any particular point in time. Because everything you say or do must be pointing towards the goal, and this will allow you to be a role model for the people. Whatever you say, they will analyze it. Whatever you do, they will analyze it. So watch what you are saying, that what you are saying is in line with the goal and the vision of the organization. If not, if everything, you need to know that everything you say is under the microscope, and you need to be deliberate about it. Deliberate, because if there's any deviation between what you say and you do, your teams can, and some will use this as an excuse for them to deviate from the mission. Practice what you preach. If you say one thing and mean another thing, what it means is that people will begin to do what you do and not what you say. Watch what you say. That applies to, and this thing applies to you when you come to the office, even outside the office. As a leader, you must make sure that your words and your actions are not too far apart, and that whatever you say, you mean. What you say you do for someone, do it, please. Whatever you promise somebody, do it. Because if you don't, they begin to lose faith in you. Whatever you say you need to achieve it, because they are watching you. They are discussing you. So any leader that doesn't want you, people say, I don't like people talking about me, then you are not ready to be a leader. Because you know what? They are going to dissect everything in a microscope. Everything you do will be under the microscope and looking at you. So be prepared for it. And make sure that what you do and say is very important. Watch your words very carefully. Watch your actions very carefully before you do it. Okay. You see, the last one is that leadership is a 360-degree job. Your number one priority might be your team, but they are not your only priority. See, it cannot be about your team alone. So if you're a manager, your primary responsibility is your team, yes, but it can't be about them. As a leader, you must also manage upwards and build a solid relationship with your bosses. You can be an effective manager and you're still sacked. You can be producing for the organization, making money from the organization, but you're still sacked. Why? You're not building relationship. You're not building relationship with your bosses. You're not building relationship with your peers. You're not building relationship with people that are not in your team that are under you. You must make sure that you build both the vertical, the lateral, and even below. You must be able to build. Is a 360-degree job. All round, you must be able to foster good relationship with your peers as well, supporting them and ensuring good collaboration between your team and their team. You see, the problem is that too often leaders, especially new leaders, focus on the people reporting to them, but they can create rifts that can damage your career. And they're not looking forward to building other relationships that can make them effective. Leadership is not easy, especially when you land your first role. But knowing and understanding these 7 things will help you to navigate these waters more successfully. So leadership is 360 degrees. You must be in good terms with your boss. Everybody has a boss. Even if you're an MD of an organization, you have a boss somewhere. know how to relate with people. Don't just build an effective team and of clique of people. Run it like a cult-like kind of thing. It's not about that. It's about having people. It's about not just having people, your own people. You see people that these are my own people, these are my own people. But it's beyond just having your own people. How do you relate with your bosses, your other people at the same level, people below you? All these things are important to make you a solid leader. And that's what it takes. And these are the 7 things I wish I knew before I became a leader. You can never, you will never, you will never know when you're going to be entrusted with a leadership position. You will never know when you can be entrusted with a leadership position. So what you need to do is that prepare. This message, this presentation will be in YouTube. You'll also be on Facebook. You can go back and also take a look at it. It will be on IGTV. You can also go back and take a look at it and listen to it. I gave 7 points of the things I wish I knew. And I said somebody is about to have an encounter climbing the ladder in society or in business and in their career. And I believe that that's why this presentation came to me very strongly. So I hope that you take it serious. Go back and look at it. On Facebook, you can get the presentation, PowerPoint on Facebook. You can also get it on YouTube, and it will be, this presentation will be on IGTV. Go back and look at it again. Thank you guys for staying with me. But before you go, I just want to let you know that I'm a coach. I'm a business, I'm a leadership coach, and also a life coach. And I coach people in this area. This is my give back to society. Call it CSR, give back to society. So in case you want more, and people say, look, I need a coach. I have a vision, I have a target, and I want to be intentional about it. I need to talk to somebody. We, by the grace of God, here at Marketplace Apostle, we have been able to coach people to success, coach people to become very wealthy across countries. If you go to uchonoche.com, you'll be able to see my work there. You'll be able to see my materials that you can use. So I will suggest go to ucheonoche1word.com and you see the work there. And if there are materials you need, you also see it there. If you want a coaching, you can reach out to me and we can sit down and surely find a way that can make you better. I look forward to, if you want more, just put it out in the DM there, reach out to us and we'll get in touch with you and we'll discuss from there. On Wednesday, every Wednesday is my coaching session. This is where I come. It's my mentoring session, not coaching, because when we say coaching from this end, we're talking about a paid event. But when we say mentoring, it's also a free mentoring session where people ask me questions. All you just need to do is to put out a question right here. Watching me, you can just put out a question. We have 5 areas we usually tell people that you can reach out to us on. That's in business, career, leadership, personal finance, relationship, and life issues. So these are our 5 areas. You can reach out to us on any of these areas and you just put out a question. See, it's important that you put things that bother you. Businesses have taken off just because they had one idea. We've been able to, a lady that wanted to commit suicide just heard me talk about depression and she changed her mind. So there are many things that people do that can turn around your life. It's just by listening to people. Put in your question. If you don't have a question, Just come and listen to somebody's question, or just help us invite someone on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time, 4 p.m. West African time. Just come and just listen to what the people's problems. They don't put their names, they just put their initials. Some people their initials, but we want to know where you are so that we have an idea of the kind of spread. People right from the US, from India, from China, from everywhere, from Nigeria here. So we just want to know where you are. Just put in that's your question. Just put in that your question. On Wednesday, I'll come and answer it because I don't have the time. Don't want to waste. We don't want to stay more than 1 hour. Just that 1 hour, a few minutes after 1 hour. So this is how so that people will not be kept from doing what they're doing. People come for this program and they use their lunch time abroad to do that. So we also want to respect that time. And so we just try to keep it within that 1 hour mark. So on Wednesday, I come, I just answer questions. I don't do any seminar. I don't do any presentation. I just come to answer questions. So just put out your answer questions there and I will be able to come and answer it. This is the marketplace with Uchonoche. On Wednesday, we do what is on your mind. So put out what is on your mind and I will come and I will answer you. Okay, so I've come to the end of this program. Leadership is coming to some of us, so prepare yourself and just take a look at this presentation again. And I think that there was something that will be able to click for you. Okay, thank you for coming out. I hope to see you Wednesday by 4 p.m. God bless you guys. Have a good night rest.